Hey guys, Dylan from Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to She-Hulk Season 1, Episode 6, titled Just Jen. Jen is a bridesmaid at a friend's wedding, a stressful event compounded by uniquely She-Hulk issues. So, I and many other people were actually expecting Daredevil to show up in this episode. Well, at least the description or some of the promotion for it, since, that whole helmet thing at the end of last episode. But I guess not. So, yeah, I'm surprised, but he could still probably show up at the end of this episode. But with reports that I've heard, I find that unlikely. So, I completely forgot to continue my train of thought last episode when I started talking about Titania's powers, how she got them. Because apparently there are two different versions. One is the Secret Wars one, like the original Secret Wars, where the Beyonder took a handful of heroes, a handful of villains, and put them onto a alien planet that's just a patchwork of bunches of different planets, including a city from Earth and all its inhabitants. That's also where you get the black suited Spider Woman, Volcania, or whatever her name is. What is her name? Volcano, yeah. She They were both experimented on by Doctor Doom, given powers, and yeah, that's how they got their abilities in the comics. And apparently, later on, there was a rework where it was without the involvement of the Secret Wars, but she still got her powers from Doctor Doom. So I wonder how they're going to explain it in this um series, if they even explain it. Apparently, the guy who walked out of Luke's haberdashery the first time Jen enters, he's carrying the suit on his back. He looks a little lost as he's leaving the door. Yeah, apparently that's someone we're going to be seeing again this series. Luke is based off of an actual fashion designer from the comics. Never read Dakota North, so I don't know anything about that, but apparently he's from there. And this is tangentially related to the last episode, but is also directly related to the next segment of this pre-ramble. Is is Cyclops actually already a thing in the MCU? Like, because sure, there were the Cyclops shoes that we saw at the in the end credit sketches of the last episode. Most of those are, well, a good half of them are not actually in the show, like in the MCU yet, so we don't need to worry about them. However, um, there was also a scrapped concept art of someone at Avengers Con in Miss Marvel wearing cosplay of Cyclops. And yes, I know scrapped concept is not canon, but still, like, the fact that they even thought to put that in there, with Miss Marvel also having that mutant twist at the end, and now they're also putting Cyclops in this. Either Cyclops is already a thing and we just don't know about him, or he is going to be one of the first that we see. But yeah. 1 second. So I'm actually going to. I've compiled a spreadsheet aptly named Superhero Shoes that goes through the whole list of the ones we saw at the end of last episode. And I'll just bring that up now. I'm not sure if you guys can read that. I'll switch over to the other one. So these blank ones, they're for ones that didn't actually have shoes in them. The ones in green are the ones that I thought of. The ones in red are the ones that other people have mentioned. So this one, the Jack of Hearts, I've seen people also say Gambit. And I say, well, I could see that since it did have a club on it, not a heart. It was definitely not Gambit's color. Ant-Man 1610. That's the Ultimate Ant-Man, where he had that reddish brown jumpsuit. Well, not even jumpsuit. It was a full body suit that he used when becoming Giant Man. So that's why I thought it was that. Other people are saying Juggernaut. I never would have picked up Speedball, and half the people are saying yes, it's Speedball. The other half are saying no. That's why I put the question mark. Sentry. That's the only name I've seen from this slot between Hulk and Namor, but most people couldn't figure out who it was, which is why that's got the question mark. I've seen this one equally as Doctor Doom or Frogman, because it's Doom colors, and he's got those green latches for his not the yellow latches for his cape, but also it sort of matches Frogman's helmet with the yellow eyes. And this one was, I said Spider-Man. Other people have pointed out that it's the Scarlet Spider, Ben Reilly. So I guess it did, upon closer inspection, it did look a lot more like his costume than Peter's, but still, I can only take claim for the Spider-Man part of that, not the Ben Reilly part. But anyway, yeah, that's just all the ones that people were able to figure out. And that's, you'll see a good half of them aren't in the show yet. But anyway, I just wanted to get that out there just in case you don't watch the breakdowns or anything. I do. So I also watch a lot of other reactors and that, so that's why I was able to compile such a comprehensive list of almost all of the visible slots. But let's get this episode. Let's actually get the episode, the main part of the reason why you're watching this, started in 3, 2, 1, go. And of course, it's not play. Why are you not playing anymore? We're gonna have to look into that. Oh, we're going back to the blood side plot, are we? People are thinking that that's Todd Thunderball, because he's the only one whose face we didn't see, and also Todd's obsession of trying to pierce her skin on that date. Honestly, I could see why Jen, after that court case, if they have her trying to not be She-Hulk at all, I can see why that would be, because that would have been so demoralizing to hear that. Because, like, she is Jen. Before She-Hulk, she is Jen. And to hear that they only wanted her for the She-Hulk aspect, I can understand why. But I can also see the opposite, where if she decides to double down on She-Hulk, because everyone seems to like that more. Never do a glitter trap in someone's invitation. Or she wants She-Hulk at the... I mean, I've only ever been to one. She wants you back as Jen. Just Jen. I completely forgot to comment. Why is there a divorce thing at the superhero law firm? Mr. Mortal. That seems familiar. So you revive. Oh, problem is, I can't say I wouldn't do the same to get out of a situation like that. Not the whole dying to get out of a marriage thing. That's fucked up. But jumping out of a high-rise building to avoid a argument, that I mean, yes, but also I'd I'd really laugh if she actually was there for the wedding though. Because how I treat them. There it is. Yeah, you deserve whatever they get you and more, mate. I thought you said you didn't want your wedding to look insane. Yep, yep. You're not getting out the window this time. I like Ched. Honestly, I've seen much worse dance moves. At least she's happy. You're a little too drunk for this. Hmm. Don't, Jen. Yeah, that was inevitable. Why? Why did you do it? You specifically said you wouldn't. And let me guess, Thingo's getting between you. Yeah, Jen still doesn't really. Honestly, the pink on green doesn't look that bad. Ooh. Ow. Uh. Well, that went much better than I was expecting it to. Why do I have a feeling that's going to be adamantium? So, everyone was right about it being the intelligentsia. And, well, one of the heads of the intelligentsia, other than, um, like MODOK and Doom, is the leader. You know, Samuel Stearns got Hulk blood dripped into his head wound in The Incredible Hulk. One of the few things that hasn't come back from that movie yet. Except in a tie-in comic where, where Black Widow took him to S.H.I.E.L.D. So Titania is just upset because she wanted the same powers as Jen, and Jen got them for not pretty much, well, nothing, and she doesn't even want them. Yet Titania's coveted them and just has what, we don't know her backstory, so you don't know if she struggled, if she got experimented on. Maybe she was part of the intelligentsia. They're trying to replicate Hulks or something. Yeah, I had a feeling there wasn't going to be any end credit scene. Honestly, that scene with the in the intelligentsia lab feels like it should have been the post credit scene if they were going to do one. Just like maybe that scene at Luke's could have been the end credit scene for number 5, but that was a fun episode. Like, I don't know, just normally I'm not a fan of wedding plots. And then again, I did like the Alec Magnus wedding in Shadowhunters, but that's because I actually knew the characters. I wasn't expecting to like a wedding plot, but yeah, it was fun. And we knew it would all come down to her turning into She-Hulk and fighting with Titania. However, the bride being too drunk to actually care that She-Hulk that Jen broke her promise about not transforming was, it was a nice touch. Again, I said it would have been even funnier if Titania was actually just there for the wedding and Jen was trying to get her to reveal her dastardly plot for how she was going to pick a fight, but it was actually just exactly as she said it was. But yeah, no, this was fun. I still say never send someone a glitter trap if you know they're going to open it in their apartment. Like, okay, sure, that was confetti, but that's only marginally better. Like, if you're going to do a trap like that, do those snakes that are can tricks? Just make some, like, origami flowers that follow the same principle so that when they open it, just paper flowers fly everywhere. Not stuff that is extremely hard to pick up and will be there for years after the initial opening. And also, don't fill the card with more of it. Oh, it's just a fun episode. There wasn't too much about it. Mr. Immortal, does sound that does sound familiar. Ah, yeah, it was the one that I was thinking about. Cause um Let's just add 616 at the end so I get the actual Marvel wiki. Yeah. Yeah, that's the image they use when you first load up is the one I'm familiar with. Him breaking out of a grave in his super suit. I don't know whether he's a human or a mutant. Doesn't really say. But yeah, retroactive immortality. That's what he has. I keep forgetting the name of that, where it's basically they'll die, but then come back to life, removing all damage and everything. So it's sort of immortal, depending. It's resurrection, but depending on how quickly it's done, as this says, is automatically. So essentially, he died but didn't die at the same time, but okay. Mr. Immortal was born as the only known member of Homo Supreme, an evolutionary stage beyond Homo sapien, the humans, and Homo Superior, mutants. Okay, so he's even beyond a mutant. Yeah, that's fair. But they had him as the exact kind of person who would use that power. The kind of person who can't handle confrontation and everything, so he just jumps out of a building or walks into traffic. Or if you're going to do that, why get married? As they said, why? It's like the worst thing you could do to your spouse is to without being abusive or cheating or anything. Okay, I'll phrase that. It's one of the worst things you could do to your spouse is to make them think that you're dead, go through that grieving process, just because you're too chicken to say, yeah, I don't think this is working anymore. Like, what the fuck? I didn't know that Mallory had a husband or a kid. So that's interesting. Because it seemed like her and Nikki were hitting it off, but I guess not. Yeah. Apparently in the comics she doesn't, but in this she does. I wonder why she's so secretive about it. Is it just not wanting to get into your personal life with coworkers, which is understandable? Not wanting to get into it with someone you barely know, which is understandable? Or is that going to become a plot point later and one of her, well, her husband or kid is going to be part of the intelligentsia? Who knows? But yeah, I really liked this episode. It was fun. So I can. How many of those intelligentsia posts? That site looked like Reddit, but how many of those posts do you reckon are actual, again, comments that Marvel has received in response to this show? Also, it's sort of. I'm not sure I'd say ironic, but it's fitting that the site that is going into how they hate She-Hulk, they want to kill She-Hulk and all that. Looks like Reddit, which in it of itself is a cesspool of similar communities. Not all of it's bad. In fact, I'd say a majority of it is good, but there are actual sites, subreddits and all that, like exactly what we just saw in that. I wouldn't be surprised if that was an actual subreddit that they just pulled up and refaced. It's even got the slash username that Reddit has. Yeah, no, that's definitely a riff on Reddit, but anyway, I'm just gonna keep rambling if I don't stop now, so I'll catch you in the next one.